Привет из Дубая. С вами передача «Голубь мира», где разбираем крутые навыки. Спрашиваем на английском, отвечаем на русском. Подтягивайте язык или смотрите перевод в тайм-кодах. Let's talk about astrology and let's start with the definition.
Astrology is quite a misunderstanding. Logi, it means science, but astra, it means stars. But this is not a science. It's quasi-science or anti-science. It was time when древние люди, ancient people, were trying to understand how stars are moving on the sky. And they were creating some descriptions, some table, and they were trying to predict when and what will happen. And special part of people, they were called жрецы,
Mm, Probably Templars.
Templars. They were trying to predict temperature and sunshine time and sunset and so on. And they were also trying to say future of the children, of the business, of some attempt to start the war. And people were believing them. But now, when we have science and we have a lot of different instruments and computers, we could understand that this doesn't work. But a lot of people, it's very sad to say, but they believe in astrology. Even my relatives, they also sometimes, for sure, women, they ask astrologists about something.
And giving it, yes, there is a certain level of development of the science. There is like a good education that we can currently afford, and basically everyone can get like all of the facts that they need, or at least make a common sense. Still there are people who would rely on that, but like when it comes to learning this, like what is the practical reason for be aware about the astrology?
I am mathematician, and I was trying several times to implement astrology or semi-astrology in my researches. For example, it was time I was given credit to people in Russia, in Belarus, in Kazakhstan, and in other countries, and I was thinking if there is anything which could help, and I was trying to understand when people were born, at which sign of horoscope and so on. And I was conducting too many researches. I don't know exactly, maybe 2,000 with help of a big team of guys. But to be honest, nothing were found. Yes, there are some small tricks which was used for very short time, but in the long term, nothing will work. So I should say that astrology, this is completely заблуждение.
Mm, Misunderstanding in a way. Or
That is like a misunderstanding. Yes, our people like it, and there are a lot of people who trying to make money, to write books, to conduct lectures, and so on, but it didn't work.
And yeah, like if we could call the astrology misunderstanding, or maybe like a big confusion, or like a big joke, if we would be more like a cynical, still we would try to like understand the structure, like how exactly it's been built, and maybe there are different types that are related to different religions, or different countries, or different historical ages.
First we should understand that reason why astrology is so developed. When people do not learn science in school or university, they need to believe in something, and they try to believe in some persons. People do not want to believe in emptiness. They want to believe to some individuals whom they know, who are looking wise and so on. And this is also a question why we in School of Troubleshooting are saying about astrology. Yes, we do not do lectures on it, but I'm ready to go. Often some officials, high officials from state or even in corporate life, they are also has hesitations. For example, do they get a new contract? Will they have a new position and so on? And sometimes they pay money to someone who will predict their future. And every one of them asking me, do you have any astrology which is worth to believe? And if I will say, come on, do not believe, these people will not believe in me. So they want to have trusted astrology, but they do not care if it will work for them or not. So they want to have it like an amulet for their life.
And actually, maybe I'll structure my next question in slightly different way because obviously, like when there is like a lot of pressure that we experience in the personal life or in the business, usually I would say maybe the brain is like a shutting down or like a common sense shutting down. So we don't want to, like calculate something or like a sit in the complete silence and the think and the process things and actually be quite cynical about what is going on. Instead, I do believe it's like our mind is ready to go into more safe state where we would believe to any tales or like any like a rituals that would at least give us certain level of the comfort. So actually it's probably not that much related to astrology, but how to be aware of this like a thin line that we're going to cross, and when we're trying to put our like a destiny or our life in the hand of the someone who just like watched a couple of YouTube videos and now they call themselves proclaim themselves as an astrologist.
Good question. I will give you an example. There is a very rich man who is afraid to take teeth out of his mouth. Is it okay to say take out?
Take out.
Take out. Yes. And suddenly he came to me and saying, I am afraid, can you give an advice? You have a dentistry. And I was saying, yes, okay. We have special procedure. We will make an injection of some special medicine and you will be cured in a dream. And he was happy for very first time. But when he came, he saying, maybe we'll find some other way not to take out my teeth. And I was saying, yes, okay, let's do photography, X-ray photography, and we'll understand. And several teeth were completely destroyed. And I was trying to explain him that it is not good. He will have diseases and so on. But he was insistent, I have money. Please find me something. Do not take my teeth out. And yes, we find some Japanese medicine and we create some, I don't know how to say, kappa on teeth.
Probably kappa.
Kappa filled with this medicine, and now each night he used these kappas. Yes, maybe his teeth will destroy in a very slow mode, but anyway they will destroy. So it is belief in no pain curing. The same in astrology. First, you could go and learn before your exam. Second, you can go to some wise, in quotes, woman or man, and they will say, you will have 5 mark, do not worry. But if it will not happen, the same it was, with my grandma. He was having cancer of first grade, and we were trying to find a doctor. And suddenly we were in Cherkasy region, and we came to the state hospital, and suddenly a very wise woman, professor, she told us, you could just be blessed by God. You have no chance to have this curing. But my grandma were asking, please find me some women which are making, I don't know how to say, народные лекарственные какие-то такие процедуры.
Folks medicine.
Folks medicine, yes. And she was so happy. She was taking so many medicine, I don't know, maybe like 50 times. But anyway, she died because cancer is a cancer. But who knows, maybe this is short moments of happiness with this folks medicine women's, maybe it's worth of paying money for it.
Well, I do believe sometimes placebo also might be, in a way, a medicine. What might be the potential future of astrology, given that our world is evolving, like in a way? So we actually kind of getting more educated, but again, like it's still might be the arguable the quality of and the depth of the education. But how like things like astrology still could be like coexist with the humanity?
Let's be back like in 90s. Early 90s. It was a time when on some bus stations or train station or ship stations, there were some big computers with printers, and you could pay 1 ruble or 5 rubles, and you will have printed your horoscope for some short period of time, maybe 1 year and so on. And at this time, I was already hacker, and I was asked if I could break these programs. And for sure, I was given unpaid programs, I break them, and then I was discovering that they have very simple algorithms inside. And I was thinking, okay, now maybe astrology will die, because you could do everything on computer. No one of astrologists right now never use calculations with circles and with some paper and so on. You could buy a program for $50, for $500, even for $5,000, and this program will make everything for you. And I was completely sure that it will die, but no, it will not die. And you know the reason why? This is very funny stuff. One time I came to my colleagues. They were responsible for people checking. So when we hire people to the bank, they should make some calls, go to some institution to understand, is this person worth to trust? And suddenly I realized they were trying to hide from me that they were using a horoscope to write these researches on the people.
Well, this is actually funny enough. And my last question will be how knowing about astrology could potentially make this world a better place.
You know, if you don't like, for example, cola, it doesn't mean that you do not know where to buy it. If your friend will ask, you could show, yes, we could buy in this store. The same with astrology. Yes, you could not believe in astrology as I do, and maybe you do, but if someone will insist, please help me, Maxim, I need very good astrology, then you could follow this person and lead him or they to this stuff, and they would be happy.
А мы рассмотрели навык астрология и чем он полезен именно вам. Всем мира!